All right, another very, very interesting session today. Essentially, what we had was an initial move lower in the CPI. You get this big tail post CPI to test the prior day high. Initially staged a bounce there versus the prior day high to come up and test that 4,700 upside level of interest. That was one of our resistance zones. Now, lack of follow through on that upside move. Eventually, price kind of rolls over here. You have a retest of the prior day high. Really fails to hold there. You could see an attempted bounce. This actually was a decent trade opportunity for a potential long if you are okay with scalping. Location was pretty strong, but it did not show the follow through that we were looking for. Once that 46.85 level of interest really started to give way and fail to hold, you want to be very cautious with the longs, because what price is going to do is it's going to move down to that next large area of support, that next level of interest, which was the 46.60 level. That was the main level on watch yesterday, one of the main levels on watch this morning for today's session as well. One of the levels I talked about during the pre-market prep live stream, and the significance of this level. Once again, if we kind of zoom out here, you'll see it was the prior near-term range high. So we had 46.60 acting as resistance for essentially the duration of this 3-week range. Now, the range started much tighter. You do have some range expansion, and during the course of that range expansion, the high was pretty much marked with the 46.60 level. So during Friday's session, price attempted to stage that breakout. We'll call that an attempted breakout right through there, the 46.60. So we come into the session on Monday, again, looking for price to hold the 46.60. Now, this morning, I had mentioned, again, it was a significant level. We saw the proof of that looking at the profile from Monday. Volume point of control from Monday's session right through there at 46.60. Look where the low was marked for today, 46.62. So we call that close enough. Within 2 points is fine. Great area to be grabbing those longs if you are bullish, if you do think that prior breakout point is going to hold. So phenomenal long opportunity through there, and price pretty much just following that 30-minute hammer versus the prior breakout point. Price just slowly puts in that drift. So we had a nice near momentum move. Call this pretty much momentum, these 30-minute bars following that 30-minute hammer up into the 46.85. This is a lot of drift, a lot of chop, but eventually resolving higher up into the 4,700. So, question as always is, what is next? Well, tomorrow is FOMC, big volatility event. A note on FOMC, if you are, fairly early in your trading journey, if you are in those first few years of active trading, FOMC, post FOMC action, you most likely want to be sitting that out. It is extremely volatile. There is a lot of whipsaw involved. You have to be pretty precise with your entries to trade that profitably. So just a disclaimer, a notice, a warning on the FOMC trading. Generally speaking, it is better just to sit on your hands and not be trading that action. You'll definitely thank yourself at the end of the day. So anyway, what are we looking for tomorrow? We want to see if buyers are pretty much showing continued strength up through 4,700. We're within one ATR move of those July highs. So we're within a 1 day's normal range, 40 points of that July high. July high is 47.34. Today's close is going to be right there near, looks like about 46.95, 39 points. So that's less than a 1 ATR move. Could easily be testing those July highs, either ahead or following FOMC. I maintain that this has been a bull's tape. That has pretty much been obvious since we showed the change in character right through here early November. And again, the target for this move, I've said this 100 times now, but the target for this move is the July high. So we're coming into that target for the change in character for the downtrend breakout that was established in early November. What happens there at the July high? Well, we'll have to wait and see how price reacts. as of right now, it continues to be a bull's tape. I mentioned this morning, no shorts for me. Not going to be shorting until we have some type of significant sell bar that materializes on the higher time frame charts. I cannot be the only seller in this tape. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be opportunities to make money on the short side. Absolutely there will be. Doesn't mean that you can't short. Absolutely you can, but it does mean that I'm personally, per my system, not going to be trying any shorts. And if it's only short opportunities on the day, that's a day I simply won't trade. It's very, very straightforward. So tomorrow, looking for that continuation move up through 4,700 potentially. If not, if it does not materialize, the main level I'm really interested in is that 4,660, that key level from today. And then if that fails, we're back into that near-term range, and we're talking about likely 4,620, potentially near-term range low, potentially that rising 21 MA. We'll just have to see what's in store following that announcement and kind of the early reaction we have versus the key levels in play. That continues to be 4,700, 4,730 area. Pretty much what you can do is you can just grab your rectangle tool and put a zone up here. That's going to be a big time resistance zone. You want to be careful up there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for ES. Let's take a look at NQ and QQQ. So again, the pattern that really strikes me on NQ, just to kind of reiterate it here, what we've seen is a trend move into a known resistance point and then just consolidation near that resistance point. Now remember, not bearish. That is not a bearish development. Anytime you have a trend move up into that known resistance point and price just consolidates there, it's not a bearish development. Probability favors this pattern resolving higher. I've been talking about that even before it did resolve higher. And that is exactly what we've seen, right? 21 MA offering a bit of a daily buy setup there as well. So tech remains the leader in this market. We have the tech-heavy NASDAQ pressing once again fresh 52-week highs this afternoon. So essentially tomorrow, what we want to see is if buyers are continuing to hold the breakout point. 16,465 is kind of the main level of interest there. You can see so far this week, take a look at that little blue line on my chart there. What that is that's the weekly profile. And so that is showing where all of the volume has transacted so far for this week, and it's transacting right there. Now, price is currently above that level, so it does suggest that that was a bit of accumulation, that we do have fresh longs entering the market with this breakout. So it's something that we want to keep an eye on. You definitely want to be watching this white line that I have on the chart right through here, 16,465, key level of interest on NQ. The structure in NQ today, just phenomenal. Look at this pullback trade on the 5-minute chart. You have prior day high, you have the daily time frame, the key July high right through there, that white line, and then you also have VWAP. Definitely, if you are into documenting the easiest trade of the day and you like trading NQ or QQQ, or you're okay with trading it, this was the easiest money trade of the day. That's something I'll be talking about with the trading mentorship group a bit later on tomorrow, but a little bit of free sauce for you guys if you are in the live right now or you're going to be watching this video later. That's the play you want to be focusing on getting into. If you weren't in it today, study all of the details of this trade, because that is how you that's how you consistently make money in the market, by nailing those easy money trades. So that's NQ, QQQ. As far as individual names, we're going to be looking at AFRM. The list was pretty short here. I want to see if we could grab any continuation up through 40.5. Then we also had Oracle as a second day trade. So remember, this morning I did not want to watch this one simply because we did not have a key level to work with. Much easier to pass on these first day trades. Now tomorrow, what we want to see is if this daily support and this big psychological level at 100 is going to be breaking. All right, so we'll be looking at the second day trade there. Let me take a look at this first day profile. So yeah, I'll probably be using 101.4 as the main pivot on Oracle for tomorrow. We'll just see how that looks during the pre-market session. And then finally, Roblox. So we had this on watch. It must have been on Friday, December 8th when it gapped up on this day into that resistance point. Sold off on that particular day, but you can see I still have the idea from last Friday here on the chart. Want to see if it is going to trigger the breakout tomorrow up through 42. That's pretty much it. Let's take a quick look at SPY, see if there's any discrepancy here. No, it's looking good. Yesterday made those 52-week highs. Today, just a very basic follow through, right? Trend move higher, consolidation near the resistance point. Again, bullish development, breaks out, pushing higher. Let's take a look. If we zoom way out here on the weekly, looking good. We're not too far off of, only 3.5% off of all-time highs. That is really something. Let's take a look at some quick fibs here. Where's a fib extension put us on this pullback? First one is 473. That's just shy of all-time highs. So that's pretty interesting. So some things to keep an eye on here. Where are we at in terms of that major pullback? So you can see the 78. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a lot of lines on the chart currently, but 78% fib from the all-time high down into this October 2022 low was there at 452. We're well above that now. So yeah, a retest of the highs is definitely not out of question for sometime soon. We'll have to see how the reaction is to FOMC. Let me take a look at QQQ here. So this was the range we were watching, very similar to the NQ setup. Obviously, the main call last week, or the main watch, was for buyers to defend this gap below. And that gap has been defended nicely. You have a daily buy setup right here on the 21 MA with the hammer right there. You could see the accumulation during last week's session. I mean, look at that. There's all of last week's volume. Clear accumulation. Sell off on this particular day. Bears think they have something here, and then they just gap it higher. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to make a bearish case on this chart currently. So we'll just have to see. We need some type of if you're thinking bearish or you're thinking you want to sell, you definitely want to see some type of other selling participation here before you are jumping into to that trade. At least that's my personal approach. So hope everyone had a great day. Hope the levels and the analysis has been helpful. I will see you tomorrow morning for the pre-market prep live stream. Have a great afternoon and take care. Later.